What's up, gamers, and welcome to another episode of From One Gamer to Another. I know it said I was gonna be a while before I had another video, but as it turns out, I'm full of shit. I got a bunch of games that I got to show you this week. Went to a pawn shop, garage sale, video game trade. I know I said I wasn't gonna actively go searching for games, but some of the deals I got today to show you are they were too good to pass up. So I'm going to start off with the game that I got at a pawn shop called Joe and Mac on the Super Nintendo. The pawn shop I go to is sometimes hit and miss with their prices, and this one was unpriced. So I took it up to the counter. I was like, how much for this one? He took it, he started going over to his computer because he was going to check it out, see how much it's going for. And he's like, you know what, $2. So I was like, yes sir. Gave the man $2.15 after tax for Joe and Mac. Pretty happy with that. Next up is a garage sale I went to. I got a Game Boy Advance, the original model. I actually didn't have this one. This is why the original reason I picked it up. Pretty decent shape. It also came with a case and 4 games. They were asking $15 for it. I offered them 10. The games for them was Donkey Kong Country with the ripped label, so I wasn't going to keep that. And Jimmy Neutron. Basically kids games that I had no intention of keeping. So I don't have those because I took them to the video game trade and I traded them in. I traded those in along with one game that I got from one of the garage sales. I got 15 in trade for it. So I put that $15 towards a Game Boy Micro. I've never had one of these. It's kind of a collector's item now. It's not much of a efficient way to play games unless you have really tiny hands because of the Nintendo DS Lite has a Game Boy Advance port. But $45 minus the 15, so I paid about 33 bucks after tax. It's in really good condition. Came with a charger, and again, it's just a collector's item. I've never had one. I'm happy to have one. Went back to the video game trade the next day because this fits my daughter's hands perfectly, so I got her some games to play with it. Well, one of them was a Barbie game, which she's already lost, and the other games were the Crash Purple on the Game Boy Advance, Mario Kart, which I pretty much got this for me, but she'll play it. This one was definitely for me. Dungeons and Dragons, Eye of the Beholder. Miss Pac-Man was for her, and a Mickey Mouse game, Magical Quest 2. This is actually the Great Circus Mystery on the Super Nintendo. This is a port of that game, so it's really awesome to think that my daughters are going to be playing the same game that I played on Super Nintendo when I was a kid. But all 6 of these games, minus the Barbie game because she lost it already, they were with the buy 2 get 1 free deal. They came up to about $21 after tax. These next few games I got at Walmart in the bargain bin. I like to look at the bargain bin here lately because they've been throwing different kinds of things in there, and if you look in there, sometimes they got some double DS games like packaged together, and they're only asking $10, so they're $5 sealed. So I got 2 of those. One of them was, one of the package deals was, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Zia or whatever. It looks like a good kids game, maybe for a girl. That's the main reason I got it, is for my daughter. And also my amusement park, I also got that with the Zia game. And I always like park building games, so I figured what the hell. And this other one is kind of for my wife, Danielle. She likes Zuma's Revenge. This was another package deal. It came with another game called I Spy Castle. Also sealed. So $10 and $10, so $20 for 4 sealed DS games. Pretty decent deal, I think. And this final thing I got to show you this week kind of made my day. It's one of the best things I've ever gotten at a garage sale before. Stopped at a garage sale, and he had like 3 huge racks filled with both DVDs, CDs, and video games. He said he had a few people there already, and they got all the Xbox 360 games and whatnot, and all that was left was PlayStation 2 and PS1 games. He was asking $2 a piece, and it got to the point where I started grabbing so many, he went down to $1 a piece on them. So everything I'm about to show you, I got for $40. I guess I'll go ahead and start with the PlayStation 1 games. I got Spiders on the PS1, Atari Anniversary Collection, Twisted Metal, Grand Theft Auto 2, Spec Ops, Eternal Eyes, Arcade Hits Midway, Shadow Man, Galaga, Dungeons and Dragons Iron and Blood Warriors of Ravenclaw, that's a D&D fighter, Wild 9, Tomb Raider 3, Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace, Miss Pac-Man Dig Dug, basically Namco Museum Volume 3, too bad it wasn't 4 or 5, the shooter games. PlayStation did like a set of these games where it's like kind of a cheap version where it's like shooter and RPG, and then they had one for each genre, and I don't know, they actually look pretty damn decent to me for kind of like shovelware, if you will. Tekken 3, Driver, and 007 Racing, Medal of Honor, and 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. Resealed, not factory sealed, but all 3 games in there. It's like he gave it to me for $1 as well. He didn't charge me $3. Legend. Oh, I'm moving on to PlayStation 2 games now. Legend of Alendar. Not really sure what the hell this game is, but for $1 I couldn't pass it up. Crazy Taxi. True Crime, Streets of LA. Future Tactics, The Uprising, Red Faction, Dragon Rage, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Hitman 2, Soul Calibur 2, Connectica, Star Wars Episode 3, Mortal Kombat, Shaolin Monks, Tekken 4, factory sealed version of Haven Call of the King. Not really sure what that game is. And the ones that kind of made this deal for me, I was happy to get for $1 a piece, was Demon Stone, Forgotten Realms game, Twisted Metal Black, Grand Theft Auto 3 with the map, Contra Shattered Soldier, and Metal Gear Solid 2. And also with all these, I got a copy of Silent Hill 3, but I also already had Silent Hill 3, so I went ahead and traded it in the game trade, those Game Boy Advance games, and that's what I got the 15 in trade for. $40 for all those games. I'm probably going to keep a majority of them. I'm pretty effing happy with what I got this week. To continue on with this little deal here, my mother-in-law was with me at this garage sale, and she actually got basically the other half of the games that I didn't want. There was a bunch of kids games, Teen Titans, I don't even know, a bunch of other games. She got maybe, I want to say, at least 50 games for $40. PlayStation 2, PS1 games, and they weren't crap either. They weren't just sports games. I don't think either one of us got any sports games. So, pretty damn awesome deal. One of the best garage sales I've ever gone to. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching as always. I've got a couple orders coming in from eBay. Next week's episode should be pretty damn good. There's not going to be any common games. They're all going to be games that I sought out. They're actually at least uncommon, if not rare. There's also going to be much less games than you've seen this week. So stay tuned for next week's episode. Thanks for watching, and from one gamer to another, go out and get those games.